So in the last lesson, we were trying to solve the last given assignment, which is the student registration form. It's just a very simple app. And before I continue, I want to ask, is there any question on what we have done so far? I'm talking about anything relating to this JavaScript. Is there any question? It's a yes or no answer.
No, yes, sir.
Okay, what's your question?
In on line 98, I'm
Ni-
line 97.
97, this one. Okay. What is the question?
I don't understand the ones in the bracket.
Okay. This this one or
Yes, sir.
okay, that one. Okay. Is there any other concern? Demola?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let me quickly address that concern. Now, this is what we call template string. You can see this backtick at the beginning, this backtick at the beginning and at the end. This another backtick, and this another backtick. Now, when we are using template string, because we call this backtick template string. When we are using the template string, for us to be able to access our variables, we use what is called the placeholder. Now, this is called the placeholder. It enables us to pass in variables within the template string. If I go to this board, for example, let's say I have a variable be Toyota. Now, and I want to display this Toyota. I can do console.log, just say the name of my car is, I will close it because it is a string. Now, for me to pass this variable into here, I have to use the plus operator, which in this case is doing what is called concatenation. The name of my car is, then I'll put the variable in there. But if I do not want to be using concatenation, I can do use use the template string. So I'll use a backtick, the name of my car is, then $, which is the placeholder now, car, then the backtick. So everything inside is treated as what? String, but there's a placeholder. These symbols is just saying that, hold on, this is not a direct string, but something is going to replace this car, and this is Toyota replacing that car. So instead of writing the dollar sign, curly braces, the car, it will just replace everything here with Toyota. So that is what is going on. Let's quickly demonstrate it. That simple illustration explanation. Let's say I have my variable car, and I say maybe Benz this time around, and I want to display console.log. I can use the name of my car is, then use the concatenation string car. So if I run it, you see that the name of my car is Benz. But if I do not want to use this concatenation, because concatenation makes the code more difficult to read, assuming you have so many variables. So are you going to continue to use concatenation like so? No. So I can do exactly the same thing here with the backtick. The backtick is spelled, where's the pen? Is spelled backtick. So, oh, let me go back. I thought I've shared this screen. You guys were not seeing this before. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, like I said, if I use this string, I have to concatenate it with this plus operator with the variable. But assuming we have so many variables, are we going to be using plus, and so on and so forth? No, it will make it easy to read, right? So that is the reason why the template string, the backtick, you can see the backtick is right under the escape key on your keyboard. Then I'm going to remove this one because it is no longer ordinary string, but a backtick. So I'll close the backtick right there. So you can see now it is looking as if it's a single string. I'm going to remove the plus. I don't need the plus operator there any longer. So now if I run this, it will say the name of my car is car. If I run this, you see, it will say the name of my car is car. But if I want it to act as a variable to be for Benz to replace it, that is when I'm going to use the dollar sign, then curly brace, then close the curly brace there. So if I run it again, you will see the name of my car is now Benz. Is there any question from me?
No, sir.
Okay. So before I used this ternary operator, ternary, we have treated it. If you revisit your operator, you will see the ternary. Now, ternary operator says says that you can check a condition, right, with a question mark. Then if this condition is true, if it is true, then do something here. If it is true, if this condition is true, then do something, right? Column, if it is false, do this other one here. So, and that is exactly what I'm doing here. Now, you know this one is assignment operator. So whatever the ternary operator is returning, it will be stored to this test content. So now, this is the condition, this one here. You can see that question mark right there. So I am testing, is the registered student, is it equal to 1? Do I have a single student registered? If this is true, then write this statement. If it is true, write this statement. Right? Assign this one. That's 1, because remember this one is the number of students registered. So it will now say 1, because 1 is stored inside that registered student at that point in time. 1 student registered. However, if this is false, if it's not equal to 1, that means that we have more than 1 student. So it will not be the number of students. It is because I want to take care of the plural form of the student, right? If it's singular, it should be student. But if it is plural, more than 1, it should be students. That is the reason why this code is right there. Is there any question?
No, sir.
Good. Demola?
No, sir.
Okay. So I think we can now move on, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me show, let me see the preview. So I'm going to copy this. Paste there. Okay. So this is our code, right? You will see that there's no message here, but if I do something, let me just put gibberish there. And I submit, you will see 1 student registered. That is where this is coming from. Because it's just 1, the variable here is equal to 1, right? So it says 1 student registered. But if I do another one and I click submit, you will see now say 2 students, plural. So instead of this, because the value inside this is no longer equal to 1, so it's false. So it will now come here and print out this string here. As I said, this one is a placeholder for the variable. So 2 students registered. So having cleared that doubt, let us continue. So in the last class, we were able to capture the registered students. I want to say there's no way to validate this form because we have not treat, we are yet to treat, we are yet to treat validation. So I don't want to go into that now. But the concept I want you to take away is data capturing and how to manipulate the data captured and data presentation. So let's say I have Demola Ayo, age maybe 12, male. I submit, one student registered. Feromi Gabriel, 13, female, submit, two students registered. Mary John, 10, female, three students registered. Then I have maybe Sean Bush, foreign, and Emil. Four students registered. So once I click on reports, I should be able to give a summary of the students registered, of registered students. For example, I should be able to say that we have 4 students registered, and we have this number of females, we have this number of males, and the average age of registered students. We should be able to do that. So now let us see, display what we have been able to capture here. So if I now display console.log array of students, if I display this array of students, I want to see the content of that array of students. So I'm going to do something again. Three students registered. I hope I've started recording. Let me confirm. Yes. So 3 students registered. So let me stop at 4 students registered. So the moment I click on that submit, right? Okay, it's now 5. So I should be able to check. Am I able to capture that data? So it's a console.log. I need to go to the backend and see. You can see as I am doing the registration, you can see the names, right? I have Sean, I have Adiola. This one is where I click the 5th time. So I have the data inside the array. And the type of data inside the array is what, Ademola?
Sorry, what did you say?
What is the type of data stored inside this array?
Is it a string?
You said
Is it a string?
a string.
Yeah,
Feromi, what kind of data is being stored inside this array? Follow me. What kind of
Yes, sir.
data is being stored inside this array? Follow me. Are you with us?
Yes, sir.
What kind of data is being stored inside this array? Ademola says string. So what is your own submission?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Now, I've mentioned this before, and I will need to make to reiterate it one more time. It is important, very, very important, for you to understand the data type you are working with. Because if you are not able to recognize the data type, how then can you manipulate that data? It is not possible. Computer programming is all about getting data, processing data. When we talk of processing data, it's all about data manipulation. A lot is involved in that data manipulation. And it is your grounded knowledge in that in different types of data that will help you to know how to navigate in the kind of data you are requesting, the kind of data you are processing, and the kind of data you are going to give out as output. Now, none of you know the type of data being stored in this array. How then can you know how to access it? You need to recognize it. The type of data being stored in the array is object. You can see it from the curly braces. It's object. We capture the student data here. This is an object. And once we capture, we pushed into this array. This is the array here. We pushed. And I asked question. Is there any question on what we did last week? No, you said no, but Feromi asked question on line 97. We pushed this object. Every time we generate student biodata, we store it by pushing it into this array here. Okay, I continue. So I've been able to capture my data. Now the question is, what am I going to do with the data captured? I need to be able to capture, to push it into this student report div. And inside the student report, I can see student count, how many students registered. So I need to give this guy the value of registered students. And also I need to determine how many male and how many females in this registered students. Then the average and their average age. I need to determine that also. So I will now make sure, the first thing I need to do is to make sure that this student div is displayed and the other student data is what hidden. Because the moment I click on report, this present form should vanish and the other one should should appear. So I'm going to create an event on this report button. And this is the report button. Where is the report button? This is the report button here. So I will create, okay, there's already on click event there, but I will say student report. Yes, fine, that's fine. So I can now create a function, which is the event handler, that the moment I click on this on this on this what's it called? This is this yeah, this button, it should call that student report function. So I will come here, create another function called the student report. So the moment I click, the first thing I want it to do is I want this display to get out. I don't want to see that form. So all I need to do is say remove. Remove that class. Then I'm going to add this class. Where is it? So this form here. So student reports. Is there anything student report? Yes, this one. So this is the class that I'm going to add to this class, student report. So document the get element by ID, student report. Hold on. What am I doing? Okay, yes, I will remove this student report. Okay, so I want this one to vanish. This other one, where is it? This one. I want it to vanish. So that is inner container. This one, student data display. I want this one to be added there. But even I can even add this one, there's no harm. So, but I need to target this class. That is all I need to do. The class. So I'm going to add that the CSS. So if I go back, refresh, if I click on this, yes, that has disappeared and this one is now appearing. Is there any question in what I just did? If I refresh, remember, this is the report button. This one here. This is the report button. This one. And I create what? An event. What type of event? On click. The moment I click on this button, go and call this event handler, this function, which is this one. And inside, what is this function doing? This function is removing this one out. That is why inner container is what? Adding that class. The class is to what? Set the display to none, right? Set it to none. And then to remove the same what's it called, the same class from this other report to make it to appear. So removing that class from here, it will make this form here to appear on the browser. That is the reason why once I click on this, the other form disappears and this form appears. Is there any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So now, once I've been able to achieve that, one form going out and the other form coming in, I need to determine to set this student count to the number of students in the school or in registered students. How do I get the registered students? Is from the count of this array. How many items are here? So if I grab that, I can determine how many items are there by using the length property. Now, this length property, I'm going to assign it to what? To this field. To this field here. This field, student count. And where is this student count? This is where the student count is. This is student count. What is the ID? It is TST student count. So I'm going to grab that. So I will say document dot query selector is an ID. So I will use the pound ID, then dot value, and I will now assign the array length, array of student length into this. So the number of student register will now be assigned to this field right here, student count. Let us see. If I do just, let me just submit like that, empty, and I click report, you can see 7 students already stored there, right? So now the next thing is for me to determine how many male counts, right? So I need to now loop through this array. As I am looping through this array, I will determine the number of students that are male and the number of students that are female. So how do I loop through an array? I can use the for off loop, right? So I can say item, and what is the object I'm looping through? This array. Now, this loop is going through each of the item of this array, and remember, that was the reason why I asked that question. What is the content of this array? It is an object. So that means that this item is an object. It will bring out the student object, the first one, then the second one. So in the first one, I have the first name property, the last name property, the age property, and the sex property. So now, if I will now say if item dot sex is equal to male. I will use M first, but I'm going to add the rest. If that is equal to male, I want you to increase the count of male. M plus, let me say male plus plus. So I've not created this variable. I'm going to create it up here. So let male equals 0. So let me just create female 2 equals 0. Then I will need to calculate the total, the sum of their ages. Remember that I need to get the average of the age. And what is average? Average is the sum of of their ages divided by the count of what? Students. So now I will say if, let me just copy this. If sex is female, increase the female variable, right? If this item does, remember this, I want to repeat, remember that item is object, and each of these objects has the first name, last name, age, and sex properties. So I'm now tapping to the sex property. If the value of this sex property is what? Male, increase the male count. If it is female, increase the female count, right? Now, I also need to add the sum of what? Their ages. So I will say let sum of age. I will create that variable. So I will say for everything, so add sum of age, add it to item dot age. The item dot age, we get the age for each of these items, and it will store it inside this variable sum of age. So that is all I need to get from this um, data. So if I go back again, so I will now need to populate the male count, populate the female count, populate the what average age. So if I now go back to my code, I will now come out of this for loop. The for loop must have finished its work. So we can now say I need to populate this form here. This form is male count, and what is the ID? It is tst male count. So I'm going to grab that. I will say document dot query selector is an ID. So I will use the pound sign, then dot value. I will now assign male to that. Then I will do exactly the same thing for the female. Female is, I think, let me confirm the ID TST female count. So like so, TST female count, then I pass in the female variable there, female variable, which must have added everything up. Then the age also, where's the form? This one, TSC age average. So let me first of all paste it here. Just copy this one. Document dot. So I need to call this out now and paste it right inside. So the average age will be the sum of age divided by the count of students, and the count of students is what? The array dot length property. So that will give me that. So let us just quickly run through it. So let me say Sean, Bush, 14, and male. I submit. I say Jane, B, 16, female. I submit. John, Doe, say 18, male. Where me? Ononoga. 12 female, and one more is a Mary, George, it's a 13 and female. Now I have 5 students registered. So once I click report, I should have 5 students registered. Out of these 5, I have 2 males. I have 3 males. And the average, something is wrong with this average. It shouldn't be this. I need to confirm this. Yes, I know what is going on. I know what is going on. I did not convert that string to, I did not convert the string to number right here. You know, this age here is a string, so I need to convert it to number. Convert this to number, right? So let me test that one first. Let's see, age 12, 13, 14, 13, 16. So report. Aha, now it is okay. So I have their average age correct now. So now I can now decide to convert this to 2 decimal places, right? That is to fix 2 decimal places. That is what I want it to be. I want this to be 2 decimal places. So this is everything that is required of you for the assignment. Let us run it one more time to be sure that everything is functioning as desired. Refresh. Demola or show male. Oh, sorry, age 10 male. Submit. Feromi Adiola 11 female. Submit. Mary Bush 12 female. J Lola Do 13 submit. And I have let's say John Doe 14 and male. Submit. So 5 students registered. So if I click on report, you can see now I have 5 students registered. Among these 5, I have 2 males, 3 males. Then their average age is now 12. Is there any question in what we have done today?
No, sir.
No question. Okay. No question. That is fine. Peromi, is there any question?
No, sir.
No question. Okay. Now, I want to give you an assignment. I want to give you an assignment. And this assignment is, I want to test your knowledge on events. Let me clear this board. I want you to create an input element. Create a button here. Submit. Now, This input element, this input element, whatever you type here, whatever you type here, once you click submit, I want you to display the content below it. Just display the content below it, right below it. It can be a P element or H1, whatever. Just click and display this element here. For example, if I type hello here, once I click here, this should have the word hello. Is the assignment clear enough?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. All right. So we can call it a day. Thank you so much. See you on Tuesday by God's grace. And I hope that the assignment will be